July 17th, Monday. Let's get to the recap. Let me just put the disclosure in. I've had a few technical difficulties today. You know the drill. Take a look at that. Let's go back to me. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Lab.com. Welcome to today's recap look ahead. So, pretty exciting day. You know, I walked in this morning. Actually, I got a text over the weekend on Friday. Somebody saying, "Hey, did you hear BBIO has a special, analyst meeting or presentation at 8 o'clock?" I'm like, "Oh, all right." It's Friday. I don't care. A lot happens between now and Monday. Monday morning, today, I get a phone call from a guy that's from the Alpha team. He's like, "Oh, BBIO, it's up $4. You know, that's what you have on the July and August." I'm like, "All right." It's 6:30 in the morning. A lot could happen. And then by the time I did the 6:30 club in the morning call, I was like, "Ooh," I'm like, "It's up 7 or 8." I'm like, a lot could happen. So P.S., you go to BBIO. It had a really big move, hit a high of 34.27. First time that's happened to me in quite some time. The chart looked good. Hopefully you guys saw it on my disclosures. It's been in my note for probably 2-3 weeks. I think a lot of people have it. Jose, who's our resident bio guy, he's unbelievable. And P.S., if you look at the Alpha team, which Michael posts 3 times throughout the course of the day, the BBIO July 20s, I sold them all day long. And I sold some at 8, some at 9, some at 10, some 11, and the last was like 14. And I also sold some of these, and I'm going to keep the rest for August. August, sold one just to sell it or for a few. And now I'm going to hold probably 75% and see if for some reason they do a money raise, which, he says happens some of the time. Then that's when we go out and we buy $30 calls for September, October, because he thinks his stock should be a lot higher. I traded it once, made a little bit of money, but that was the meat of the move. And now we'll see how much of this gap it holds. It did try and fill the majority of this gap, but we'll see if there's more. Ultimately, you go see the weekly chart, and this is supposed to be big news. So we'll see if it works its way back and becomes a new active sequence. We've had a few new active sequences start with a big gap up. Let me just see something here. Still waiting to see if my son made his team that he wants, but I don't think it's going to happen. Anyway, we'll see. That was big news. I'm happy. 75% is booked, 25% runner. We'll see how it goes. If you recall, we also, if you talk about the stocks that we trade a lot more, Apple, and I bought it this morning, and I bought options. Looks like it's on its way to take out this high. Held in here pretty well. It was upgraded. I think pre-market, you guys saw me buy it around 190, 170-ish. I didn't want to miss it, and it had a nice move, and feels like it could take this out and continue. Tesla, I rebought the stock on last week, probably this day, and then it had a nice follow through Friday. It didn't get stopped out from the road, and now it hit a high of 292.19. It's nice. 292.19. So what I did is I felt like booking some of the calls because from 5 to 10, it's still a double pre-earnings. I might as well take a little bit off. And then I turned the rest into a call spread, which you can see right here. So I now have a fully funded call spread by the action of the stock. So some people are like, "Oh, how do you do that?" I'm like, well, I bought the 295s when the stock was 270. And now the stock's 290. So I sold. I actually trimmed a little bit, as you can see right there, at 935. And then I also created the spread, shorted twice, and and now I sold the 305s. What I bought the 310s. What I bought the 295s for. So 15-point free play. If it goes, great. If it doesn't, I'll lose on that portion, and we'll see. Maybe tomorrow we get another push. But that was 2 really nice plays. Last week we also focused on you. Did a red dog reversal. I got stopped out of my stock on Friday, but instead of selling the options, I'm like, let me buy more. And I bought more, and now it looks pretty good again. Still looks like it's setting up on this weekly to work its way towards 55 to 58. Approach it as you can. RBLX wasn't ready to break above this 45-ish on Friday. Nice little red dog reversal also for those who rebought the stock. I am in some stock just to stay engaged, just in case it wants to take out 45. I'd like to be there watching it to get to 48 or more. I am in options also. So I'm in both because it looks set up, even though it's a choppy name. Microsoft hit a high of 351, happened really fast, came from 327 to 351, so it just came in. The longer it stays in here, the higher the probability maybe it goes, especially if Apple makes a new all-time high. They'll think Microsoft can too. I'm in small stock, not a lot. Google was up $1.50, came in. It's a little tricky stock, but as long as it holds this 123.49, I would think it could have a few inside candles to stay with. NVIDIA I didn't touch. Some guys, it was a little choppy. Kind of hung in there. It's trying to rebuild. Where the opportunity was in AMD. I told you guys that it's probably on the buy side of the rebalance, not the sell side. And then after the crazy action on Friday, wound up doing a nice red dog reversal. I did not catch it, but some of you guys did. It traded below both lows and came back up. So it's pretty pretty nice move today. So if you lost money, in here, or you made money and they got stopped out of some, it looks a little bit better. We captured all the moving averages. Maybe scalp long was a 5, 15, 30-minute low. I know it was a little crazy, but it wound up being just fine. Boeing, I'm just in options, just because the stock was horrible to trade. I didn't go back to Oxy. Some did. We did play from here. Sold most. Got stopped out of some on Friday. Didn't rebuy it back. It still looks like it's choppy and really not really so special to be so in a rush for. I did what did I buy? That we were talking. Oh, I bought a little bit more Bank of America, even though I don't think it's going to be able to really have enough of a move to make money. But I'm like 13 cents. I'll add to it. JP Morgan didn't fall apart. They did sell the news just because they wanted to make people feel bad about themselves if they chased it, and then it held this 148, and now it looks like it's ready to make new highs. So if Bank of America is decent, maybe we could still salvage that trade, if they want to rotate into some banks. We'll see. NEO held where it had to, right? A little red dog reversal. I did buy a little bit more today. Our goal here was to get to the 200-day. It did, first time, and it came back in red dog reversal. Maybe it continues. If you remember, we bought FXI, and I sold some strength. I bought some back today, even though it doesn't look great. It also, got rejected at the 200-day. A lot of things when we get to the 200-day the first time, it gets rejected. The same way when it comes back to it, it holds it the first time. This time it got rejected, held where it had to. So this gap is now gone. Maybe, it'll be a decent play if they finally announce some stimulus, which is why we did it. Pooty bought some BABA back. I didn't. A little red dog reversal with using this pivot. If you sold some into strength last Thursday, you were able to buy some back, and now we'll see. Still acts pretty well, all things considered. And here we are in the summer, moving and grooving. It's 7/17. I hate to say it, but today was my best day of the year, with a news play. Again, opportunities when preparation meets, lucky is when opportunity meets preparation. And although I feel lucky today, I was in it for 2-3 weeks. I did miss 2, 3, 4 plays of Jose's throughout the course of him being on the VTF. Remember this MDGL? He was in a ton of options here, and he played it all the way up. So, and then there were a bunch of other ones. So this one, I'm like, hey, the chart looks good. The risk reward is defined, and I went with it, and there you go. We got paid. Now we'll see if it could hover, and if there's another trade here, and if there's another way to do it. But all in all, feeling, I actually don't feel that excited. I just feel like, okay, another day. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. Let's keep adding it on so we can get, paid and follow the process, evolve, and just continue to move forward. And if you had a great second quarter, congratulations. Hopefully you're on your way in the, in July, and we won't get caught with our pants down, overextended. I'm still trying to sell premium as a hedge above by selling SPYs short to keep me long, and it's been helping versus just shorting the SPYs and, too focused on that. Instead, I've been shorting premium a few dollars higher every time we're extended from the 8-day. And as of right now, we're not too extended from the 8-day, but we're still extended from the 8-day. We're still a little overbought, so I feel okay shorting some premium and getting short the SPYs if it goes above it. And we'll just continue to do that until I don't want to get caught too short. I was happy this morning when we were down a little bit. I got converted short SPYs as the hedge, which was the plan, and I made money there, and I was able to redo it. So all in all, can't be upset about this action. It's not just 6 stocks; it's a lot of stocks out there, and we're trying to find them and continue them to move and groove, and continue to make some money. 380, 350. I like to save this so I have it for the morning for when I see the future and what's happening around the globe. What a nice move since breaking this downtrend right here, right? This doesn't matter anymore. This is right here. This is this low. This is this gap. Let's move it over. This is the 8-day. Can't be so upset about tech or the IWM. And the other ones are just not the easiest to deal with. All right, guys, I got to jump. I'll be back in the morning. Have a good night.